Hello, we are the Digital and Cognitive Musicology Lab, or DCML. We are located at École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne on the shores of Lake Geneva in Switzerland. Since 2017, we have been working on the topics of music cognition, formal music theory, and computational musicology. We are present at conferences such as ISMIR, NeurIPS, CogSci, SMC, and ICMPC. While our main focus is on Western classical music and jazz, we also work on other styles and traditions, such as pop, folk music, or Indian and Chinese classical music. Our research can be categorized into three methodological approaches: computational modeling, corpus studies, and psychological experiments, although most of our projects combine several of these approaches.
We use computational modeling to bridge the gap between music theory and cognition. On one side, music theory offers rich insights into musical phenomena and experiences. On the other side, cognition requires precise descriptions of human behaviors and mental capacities. Using computational modeling, we can formally describe musical phenomena and identify the required capacities. One area in which we apply this approach is musical syntax, that is, how people understand the structure of a piece of music, its elements, and the musical relations between them. An example of such a syntactic model is a grammar of harmony that generates chord sequences from two basic principles, preparation and prolongation. Variants of this grammar cover large parts of harmony in common practice music and jazz standards. Cognitive capacities can now be characterized as computational tasks in this model. Inferring the structure of a chord sequence is parsing, while learning the harmonic language of a style amounts to learning the rules of a grammar and their probabilities. Similar to the harmony grammar, we develop syntactic models of other aspects of music, such as rhythm and note-level tonal relations. The latter is being presented here at ISMIR. While grammars require a lot of domain knowledge on the model side, we also work on more generic methods for describing musical structure. Pitchscapes and wavescapes are extensions of keyscapes and help to visualize hierarchical organization. Recursive Bayesian networks, abstract context-free grammars, and probabilistic programs are generalizations of classical grammars. Other structural models include a neural network model of harmony and a matcher for voice-leading schemata. A third group of models investigates musical spaces, that is, the abstract ways in which musical objects such as pitches or chords are organized. Tone fields, for example, are a theoretical framework for describing extended tonality in the late 19th and early 20th century. It organizes pitches and harmonies according to fifths, major thirds, and minor thirds, similar to the tone nets, generalizing traditional diatonic relations. We can try to infer the prevalence of each of these directions from the pitch content of a piece. The tonal diffusion model assumes that each pitch is derived from the tonic using a combination of steps by fifth or thirds, each with a different probability. By finding the probabilities that best explain the pitch distribution of a piece, we can estimate the relative importance of each direction and see how these preferences change over time. Other models of musical spaces investigate the historical development of major and minor modes, the relation between harmonies and surface notes, the emergence of discrete pitches in a continuous space, and the relations between pitch sets under certain transformations.
Of course, in order for computational models to be successful, we need lots of data, and in particular, clean, well-structured, annotated data is of utmost importance. In addition to the modeling, we also perform corpus studies using data, investigating changes in the usage of harmony over time. At DCML, we have worked to produce such data from two different angles. First, we have worked to produce annotation standards. This includes the design of a highly expressive and flexible harmonic annotation standard, capable of encoding chord roots, types, inversions, suspensions, added or altered tones, pedal point, and cadential information. We are involved in communities like MEI in order to ensure the widespread adoption of such a standard, be it ours or another with the desired expressiveness. On the theoretical side, we have also designed a chord model with the ability to flexibly represent chord structures across a wide range of musical styles and levels of specificity. Second, we have cleaned, annotated, and released many corpora for use by researchers. These include the Jazz Harmony Tree Bank, with annotated harmonic trees of a variety of jazz standards, and the Aligned Scores and Performances, or ASAP, dataset, which has aligned the large Maestro dataset at the beat level with clean musical scores, with applications towards automatic music transcription and beat tracking. Finally, we have released multiple corpora of musical scores annotated with our expressive harmonic annotation standard. So far, these include the ABC corpus of Beethoven string quartets and a corpus of all Mozart piano sonatas. More of these harmonic annotation corpora from a wide range of eras and composers are in the pipeline to be released soon, so keep your eyes peeled.
Psychological experiments allow us to better understand the way humans perceive music. We use them to test hypotheses generated by our theoretical models, as well as to explore new phenomena that our models need to account for. One such phenomenon is well known in linguistics, called the garden path effect. Sometimes, when hearing or reading the beginning of a sentence, one interpretation of the words is particularly likely. However, when the sentence is continued, this initial interpretation does not work anymore and needs to be revised. We wanted to know whether such a revision effect can also happen in music. The stimuli we used contained a note that lies between B and B flat. The preceding context in F major makes a B flat more likely, so if only heard in this context, the detuned note is heard as a B flat that is too high. However, if followed by a C, the detuned note may be heard as a B natural, the leading tone to C. Our results indicate that some people interpret the detuned note differently depending on the following context, which means that they must have revised their interpretation retrospectively after hearing the C. In another experiment, we tested the cognitive plausibility of an existing model, the Harmony grammar mentioned earlier. We played different chord sequences to the participants and asked them to estimate the number of chords that were still needed to close the phrase. These listener ratings were compared to the predictions made by the Harmony grammar and a baseline Markov model. The grammar model outperforms the Markov model in predicting listeners' responses, which indicates that listeners might form their expectations about harmonic phrases in a hierarchical, grammar-like way. Other experiments investigate the relationship between harmony and voice leading, equivalence and substitutability of harmonic functions, the relation between syntactic structure and tension, and tone profiles in the context of extended tonality.
At DCML, we have created useful tools to help us with our research, and many of these have been packaged into publicly available libraries and utilities for easy use by other researchers and music practitioners. These include the Pitch Types library, an interface for easily working with and converting between spelled pitches, MIDI pitches, and both spelled and enharmonic intervals, which is very easy to get wrong. The Pitch Types library is available in Python, Julia, Haskell, PureScript, and Rust. The MS3 Python package is available for the easy parsing and processing of MuseScore 3 files into TSVs that are much easier to work with. For data processing and annotation, we have released a reductive annotation app, which allows you to analyze reductions of a musical score, for example, when performing Schenkerian analysis. We have also released annotation tools for harmony trees, like those in our Jazz Harmony tree bank, and for note-to-note relations. On the more research, analysis, and modeling sides of things, the MIDI Degradation Toolkit, or MDTK, can be used to add controlled noise to MIDI files, which can help make models more robust to noise and to test their robustness to various types of noise and errors. The MIDI-FT and Pitchscapes libraries, both implementations of computational models created at DCML, can be used to analyze musical harmony at various levels of granularity, for example, tracking changes in tonal center in real time throughout a MIDI file. Finally, the Harmonic Inference library, implementing the computational model mentioned earlier, enables the automatic annotation of musical score files with key and chord labels. Besides our scientific activities, we teach courses on improvisation, algorithmic composition, and digital musicology at EPFL. We also regularly host workshops on various topics, such as music analysis, semantics, or AI ethics. Finally, we have developed an internal program for extracurricular activities called Group-Related Interactions at Loch Lomond, or GRIL for short. We'd be happy to chat with you at our lab booth, and for more information, please check out our website at epfl.ch/labs/DCML. Thank you very much.